have you talked to us about your other great big deal that we were also interested in, which was the Waldorf Astoria sale? And I would love to have us all know some background on that, but also because you were dealing there with a new entrant into the whole marketplace, the insurance company from China. So tell us about that.
So it's interesting that the commonality between the two transactions, I'd say, is timing. In the case of Anbang's purchase from Hilton, where we're the majority shareholder of the Waldorf, we had a relationship with Anbang over time. The chairman happened to be in town in New York in my office in early September. We were talking about a range of things, and I happened to mention that we were getting close to hiring an advisor to sell the Waldorf. And he quickly said, look, this is an asset we'd like to own. Can we negotiate a deal? We thought about it. We broke at the end of the meeting. I called Chris Nassetta, the very capable CEO of Hilton, and we had a discussion. And we said, well, look, if we could get to this pricing level, and we gave him a short period of time, we give him a preempt right. We actually ended up having breakfast again the next morning with the chairman. We hammered out a deal. Haggled a little bit, but got to a price. Ultimately, the board had to approve it as well. The key consideration, I'd say, on the deal was not just price, but to the company, this was a flagship asset. And as they grow out the Waldorf brand around the world, in Shanghai, in Beijing, Amsterdam, Jerusalem, they really need this asset renovated. It needs to be part of the system. So we needed a buyer who was committed to the asset long-term, would invest the capital, which Anbang did. And we also needed a long-term management contract, so this stayed in the Hilton system, and they signed a 100-year contract. So we were able to get that all done. Now the next question people ask is, does this make any sense, the price they paid? And I would tell you, I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think in the rearview mirror, when people look back, it'll look like a shrewd purchase. And the reason why is they bought a full city block in Manhattan, and arguably one of the best locations in the city. They bought 1.5 million square feet for less than $2 billion, and there's a lot of redevelopment potential with that asset when properly reinvested, retail and other things. So I think what they did was highly rational. It happened on a much more expedited basis than we anticipated, but I think it's going to end up as a win-win.
For them as well.